All right. So, good day, everyone. We would focus on the first part of paper 1 today. As I told you, the lessons that I've prepared for you, it would go part by part. So yesterday was the introductory lesson. Today, we would focus on the first part of paper 1, which is multiple choice questions. Okay, now, what's with multiple choice question? What is so difficult about it? Or what is so exciting about it? Is it easy? Is it hard? Do we need to give a lot of attention to answer multiple choice questions at SPM level? Or would you consider this to be a bonus part where you have a very short text and you also have the options laid out? Therefore, you can very easily make the decision to choose the right answer, and you have 8 marks just like that easily. What's with MCQ? Now, we have 3 major elements to discuss under multiple choice questions at SPM level. The first one is regarding the materials or the source. The materials which are used, the materials which are adapted for multiple choice questions. The second element would be to discuss on the challenges. Okay, the second element is the challenges. Okay, so we are going to discuss the challenges. And thirdly are the tips as to how we could handle MCQ, multiple choice questions. Okay, well, you need to understand it is very similar to that of PD3. PD3 and SPM, multiple choice questions, the technicality is pretty much the same. Okay, the shape of the question is pretty much the same. The construction of the question is the same. You have a text and you have 3 options, but the level of difficulty differs, the length differs, and the depth of the material differs. Let's see. First and foremost, for the materials, let's look at the text type. We have short news, we have advertisement, we have announcements, we have short letter, we have appeal, job vacancy, short information, book review, short report, message, customer notice, quotes, meaningful phrases. Sometimes it can be as long as 2 lines. Sometimes it can be as long as 90 words, 90 words. Okay, and you will be given 3 options. And now we have HOTS inclusion here. So when we talk about HOTS inclusion, obviously we are going to play with the options that we lay out before you. The options would all be possibly similar or correct. So your challenge is to choose the most appropriate one. Okay, now challenges. First and foremost, as we discussed just now, it has this HOTS element, higher order thinking skills, which would require you to primarily think. Okay, and how would we get you to think is to lay all the options in a very similar manner. Okay, so the options would all be similar and you have to choose the most appropriate one. Okay, number 2, vocabulary. The materials that we would use, they are authentic. Therefore, the material may not satiate or placate you in some way. It would not be something that you expect it to be, because it is a real life language. It used in real situation, real advertisements, real phrases, real quotes, real job applications, and whatever not. Therefore, the vocabulary would be of that standard. So you need to be mindful of the language usage. Okay, and the second thing is you need to have a holistic comprehension of the entire text and the questions as well as the options. Okay, when we talk about holistic comprehension, you need to be able to understand the entire text and the scope of question in a holistic manner. So you would be able to analyze, understand, analyze, and interpret the text. That's number one. Number two, another challenge is contextual understanding. You should be able to understand the particular word, phrase, sentence, clause, or idea in the context it is being presented. If you don't understand what I mean by this, when we look at the questions, we will be doing a lot of questions in a while. We'll do a lot of practices. I have prepared a set of questions for you. So when we discuss the questions, you'd be able to understand what I'm trying to say. Okay? So that is what I mean by contextual understanding and comprehending the context. Now, tips. There are many different approaches suggested by different teachers. Some of your teachers would probably beg to differ, but this is what I feel. Okay? And in my experience of teaching for all these years, what I believe is to read the questions first. Read the questions first and read the options. Why? By reading the questions, your cognition is narrowed to the scope of the question and what you've got to find from the text, which means your focus is not broken. Before getting into the depth, because some text may be long, so before getting into the text, you would understand what the question actually wants. Okay, I'm getting a request to let others in. Give me a while. This is what I do not like, but let's just give in for once. Okay. Now, read the text. Then, after reading the questions, then you read the text. Okay? After that, choose the most appropriate answer. This is what you've got to do for the answering of these are my tips. This is how I would encourage my students to approach and to handle MCQ questions, and we'll see why. All right. Now, are you ready for some practice?
Yes, sir.
Now that I have your name, so it's very good for me. I'll just call names. So all of you mute yourselves, and when I call your names, the particular person should answer the question. Give me a while. Okay. As I told you, read the question first, and then we read the text. Now, I will do the first one, then I will call names. Based on the advertisement above, we can conclude that the application can come through phone calls. Applicants without any working experience are welcomed. The candidate who secures the job will have to work in India. So this is these are the conclusions, the possible conclusions. Okay, so we need to verify which is correct. Tourism Malaysia, applicants are invited to fill the position of marketing manager to be based in New Delhi, India, with salary of Indian rupee 50,000, minimum 5 years of working experience in related industry, preferably in tourism. For further details, visit. Interested applicants are to submit an application letter in English, detailed resume, CV together with a recent passport size photograph to the following address or email before or by 2nd May 2018, Malaysia Tourism Promotion Board, basement and ground floor, D78 Vasan Vihar, New Delhi. Email nurushama@tourism.gov.my and vishnupriya@tourism.gov.my. We have the right to choose, and only shortlisted candidates will be notified. Telephone calls will not be entertained. Now, based on the advertisement above, we can conclude that the application can come through phone calls. Correct or not? Okay, let me ask Rishalini. What do you think is your answer? Rishalini, you can unmute yourself and you can give your answer.
I think C, sir.
It's quite obvious, isn't it? C. It is
What, sir?
C. It is quite
Yeah.
obvious that the answer is C. Now, applications cannot come through phone calls. Telephone calls will not be entertained. Applicants without any working experience are welcome. No, you're not welcome. Minimum 5 years of working experience is needed. So the candidate who secures the job will have to work in India. Is that correct? Yes, based in New Delhi. Position of marketing manager to be based in New Delhi. Okay, now, please be ready, people. You have, I'll call your names and you answer. And the first name would be Darwin John. Darwin John, you there? I'm not getting a response. See, when I call your name, you may just unmute yourself and read the question and then read the text and give us the answer. Okay, never mind. Manisha Sivakumar. Are you there as well? Oh, I'm not getting a response. How about Sukirta Rai, Santana Kumar? Yes,
Sir,
please read the question. Are you able to see the question to start off with?
yes, sir.
Yeah. Shall I read the question and you give me the answer? If it's that hard. Okay, I'll read the question. You give me the answer. From the news above, what killed the police officers? A, the curiosity of the police officers. B, the suspicious suitcase. C, the sincerity of the kid. The suspicious suitcase. A suspicious suitcase was found near a bus station by a kid who was waiting for the bus alone. The suspicious suitcase wasn't opened by the kid on the first moment. He took it to the police station, and when the police officer opened the suspicious suitcase, it exploded. The kid survived, but the other police officers were killed by the bomb. Now, from the news above, what killed the police officers? What is your answer? Anyone can give the answer.
B, sir.
B, sir.
B.
B, sir.
Okay. The answer is,
Answer B, sir.
if you were to say the answer is B, why didn't the suspicious suitcase kill the boy? Because he found it first. The question is, what killed the police officers?
The curiosity of the police officers.
The curiosity of the police officers, yes. A. Okay, now let's look at this one. What amongst the following could be the reason for the notice above? Entertainment, security, amusement. Swimming pool notice. Children 12 and under must be accompanied by an adult when using the swimming pool. This is a very easy question. What is the answer?
B, security.
B, security. Very good. All right. Now, I'm very skeptical now to call your names because you don't respond, and I get very dejected. From the WhatsApp message above, we can conclude that Alex's flight has been delayed. Alex is able to check in the flight. Alex is reminded to reach the airport soon. Hello, Alex. You have an upcoming flight from San Francisco to Chicago in next 48 hours. Online check-in for your flight UT 193 on 2nd May is now open. ABC, what do you think is the answer?
B.
B, sir.
If anyone were to say C, it is obviously wrong. A is definitely out. So between B and C, the most appropriate answer is B, because you get to check in slightly earlier before your flight. All right, now this one. Based on the notice above, we can conclude that A, the sale includes clothes and apparel. B, the sale lasts for a day. C, the goods sold are of leather. Clearance sale, leather shoes and boots to be sold out. 5th floor today for 1 hour only. Don't miss it. A, B, C?
A, sir.
If you
A,
were to
sir.
say A, does the advertisement talk about clothes at all?
C.
Sir, it's B.
D.
C, sir.
B,
C.
Yeah?
It's B.
If you were to say B, does it last for a day or an
No, sir.
hour?
C.
An hour.
Sir,
It's
C.
just an hour. So the
Sir,
answer
C.
is C, which is exactly why I said read the questions, read the options, understand. Remember, as I told you earlier, wait. Look at this. Holistic comprehension, overall understanding, contextual understanding as well. Both these elements are equally pivotal. All right? Okay. Now, this one. From the tweet above, we understand that dating engages people, dating exhausts people, dating exposes people. Dating is collecting information about someone until you realize you don't like them. I'm sure all of you have much experience to share. I'm not interested. I need to know the answer though. What do you think is the answer? The answer may be very hurting. Huh? No. The answer may hurt you. That's the clue that I'm giving you.
C.
You see, dating is collecting information about someone until you realize you don't like them. That means you get to know someone to the point that you realize they're not likable. So dating
B. B, sir.
exposes people.
C.
It exposes people. It reveals too much to the point that you do not like. Okay, now this one. Next. I'm not going to read the question even. You should be able to know. So what is the answer?
A.
B, sir.
C.
Most of you would argue
C.
between A and B, I know,
C.
but the correct answer to keep a
C,
place
C.
clear is to keep it vacated. No. C is definitely out.
C, sir.
Please keep area clear means don't be there, don't exist there, just go away. So it's vacated, B. Now, this one. I took this advertisement from Harvard University's official notice. So you can check the language. It's superb. From the official notice above, the word inclination brings the same meaning as quality, tendency, opportunity. Official notice. We regret to inform you that a resident of this dorm has been detained indefinitely due to suspicious actions, suspected violent inclinations, or suspicion of being a deportable alien, questionable residency status. This is a matter of special investigation under the strict jurisdiction of the Harvard Corporation and ensures the safety of all students. You will not be able to contact the suspect at any time during their indefinite detention. Now, A, B, and or C. Inclination means?
Sir, B.
Very good, B. The option would lie between tendency and opportunity, but the most appropriate one, no, tendency, not even opportunity. So definitely tendency. Yeah, the answer is B. Now this one, can I call a name, please? Am I allowed to call a name? Would you respond or would you remain silent? Let me see today's attendance. All right. Tasha, are you there, Tasha? Tasha, are you there? I'm not hearing. I can't hear. Okay, how about Varunesh?
B, sir.
No, read the question first.
From the notice above, we can conclude that SHATS is
A, considerate, B, tolerant, C, kind. And read the text.
attention students, we have a placed complaint suggestion box in the admin office, 3rd floor. Please feel free to share your concerns and ideas with us. Thank you for your cooperation. Students Association and Society for Hospitality and Tourism Studies.
Okay. So your answer is?
My answer would be A, sir.
Okay. Now, see, as I told you, HOTS element, right? We were talking about HOTS element. It means higher order thinking skills. For that, we need to think. That is the primary idea. Now, here, there are three options. Are they kind? They are definitely kind. Are they tolerant? Yes, they are tolerant. But let's look at the context. We have placed a complaint or suggestion box in the admin's office. Please feel free to share your concerns and ideas with us. They would want to know what is your concern. They would want to know what are your suggestions. They would want to know if you have any complaints. So, more than being tolerant and kind, they are being considerate. So the answer is A. Thank you, Arunesh. You made me proud. Okay, now this one. Like most of our days during this MCO, from the day, what can we conclude on the employee's attitude? A, productive, B, inefficient, C, grumpy. Checked email, Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. Ready to start my day. Oh, look, it's lunchtime. So how has her day been?
Sir, may I answer?
Yes, please.
It's B.
Inefficient? Excellent. Very good. Thank you for volunteering. I would love to have volunteers. Now, from the WhatsApp message above, we can conclude that Patrick, A, is not interested to be the customer of Team Trango. B, had not rechecked the information that he filled up. C, disagrees with Tamara. Dear Patrick, you recently registered with us as a customer, which is great. However, it looks like the email address that you have filled in is incorrect. Could you please give us the correct information? Thanks in advance. Kind regards, Tamara, Team Trango. So what do you think is possibly the answer?
Sir, B.
Yep. Very good. B. B is the right
B,
answer. Okay, now for this question, it's a bit, it hinges on vocabulary. So let's see. From the notice above, the place will not allow intrusion, sensation, violation. Notice, no trespass. It's quite easy.
Sir, answer is A.
A, yes, very good. Intrusion. A, intrusion. Now this one. To Sophie. From the note above, we can conclude that Sophie and Ronnie are most likely A, friends, B, siblings, C, acquaintances. To Sophie, I've just got the news that our grandfather passed away 1 hour ago. We are going to leave to Clayton soon to attend the funeral. Please be here before 7 p.m. Ronnie. So Ronnie and Sophie are most likely.
B.
Yeah?
B.
Yes, B, siblings. They are not acquaintances, definitely. They are not even friends because they share a common grandfather. So, siblings.
Sir,
Yeah.
answer C.
C is definitely not the answer, dude. C is not the answer. The answer is B. Acquaintances means kenalan. Friends closer than acquaintance. Here, Sophie and Ronnie share the same grandfather, our grandfather. So they are most likely siblings. Okay, I hope you could understand what is HOTS now. It's really hot. Okay, now let's look at this. From the short note above, the person is informing, apologizing, warning. I will be late for dinner. My boss asks me to attend a meeting at 7 p.m. I will catch the bus right after the meeting is over. Love you. So
A.
it is informing, warning.
Information.
Yes, definitely informing.
A, sir.
Okay. Just because they say I love you, don't assume it's sorry, not sorry. Huh? It's informing. All right, now this one. Indemnity. From the notice above, we could conclude that the entry to the mentioned area is indemnity. Anyone entering these premises, including the grounds, do so entirely at their own risk. Everyone else connected therewith shall have no liability whatsoever for any injury to or death or any person or loss or damage to any property, howsoever caused, even arising from negligence of any degree. So from the notice above, we can conclude that the entry to the mentioned area is...
Sir, answer is B. Prohibit.
Okay, now. Okay, Tanvi. Kindly mute yourselves. Some of your backgrounds are very noisy, especially. Okay, now, let's see. Who said prohibited? Who is the person?
Sir, me, sir. To right.
Okay, now, are they prohibiting or discouraging? Do they anyway say you shall not enter? If you were to enter, you will be fined or you will be put behind bars. Do they say anything of that sort?
No, sir.
All they are saying is if you are entering, enter at your own risk. So they are basically threatening. It is slightly skewing towards threatening. So the answer is discouraged.
B, sir.
Now, the short note above is informing us that Tommy's mom is advising Tommy, convincing Tommy, instructing Tommy. My dear Tommy, after having lunch, do your homework and take a bath. Don't forget, put the key under the pot before going to your music course. Your mom.
Sir, it's C.
Is she advising?
C.
Yes, it's C, instructing. Yeah.
Answer C, sir.
Yes, C, correct. If you have the time, we can go through all the questions. Would you want to? I mean, it will extend more than 9:40. Do you want to go through all the questions?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's see. Well, I made all these questions, so you wouldn't have seen it elsewhere. So it's worth giving it a try. From the notice above, we can conclude that the road has to be kept clear of A, public, B, people, C, vehicle. Notice, no parking, keep accessway clear at all times. Answer is?
C, sir.
C, sir.
C. Yes, C.
B, sir. B.
All right. From the notice above, social...
C, sir.
Yes, C, correct. Now, we have moved on. From the notice above, social media is considered to be beneficial in which of the following way? A, it has a very wide reach. B, it does not incur any charges. C, it is an easy channel to get the target crowd. Social media allows us to announce our scholarship opportunities in most cost-efficient way. We rely heavily on these free channels. Please help us reach more people by liking PEF's social media pages and please share our posts. Public education. Now, from the notice above, social media is considered to be beneficial in which of the following area?
C, sir.
Sir, I guess C.
You guess
Sir,
it
I
is
think C.
B.
social media is considered to be beneficial in which of the following way? How is it beneficial? The answer is
A. It
definitely
is A.
between A and C.
B.
What do you think is
A.
it? All three options are correct.
A,
You
sir.
know.
A.
Okay, is any of the options wrong?
Sir, B, sir.
None of the options are wrong, you know.
A.
But look at what the quote is trying to emphasize a lot more. Social media allows us to announce our scholarship opportunities in most cost-efficient way. So what are they talking about?
Not sure. Money.
Free of charge. We rely heavily on these free channels. What are they talking about?
Free of charge.
So what do you think is the answer
B.
based on the notice above? B, it does not incur any charges.
Correct, sir.
Okay. All right. Now, this one. From the short message above, we can conclude that Dennis is informative, disinterested, persuasive. To Ricky. Ricky, are you free this afternoon? If you are, would you join me to the mall? Could we do window shopping? How does it sound? From Dennis. Is he informative? Is he disinterested? Or is he persuasive?
C, sir.
Yes, C, persuasive. All right, now here. From the notice above, who do you think is allowed into this area? So who is allowed? Notice, authorized clean room personnel only. So A, authorities, B, cleaners, C, public.
B, sir.
B.
Cleaner.
B,
Yes,
sir.
cleaners. If anyone were to say authorities, it means they have not used the T in HOTS. What is T in HOTS? Higher order thinking skills. So what is T in HOTS?
Thinking.
Very good. You get my point. Now, the notice above is a notice of A, gratitude, B, farewell, C, well-wishing. I have enjoyed my time with the company and appreciate the help and support provided to me over the course of my tenure. What is it? Gratitude, farewell, well-wishing.
Gratitude, sir.
More than farewell and well-wishing, it is gratitude, isn't it? Okay, so this because this person
Yes,
is being appreciative, yes. So the answer is A. Now, you are most likely to find this sign in the following places, except restaurants, libraries, hospitals. No smoking, eating, or drinking in this area.
B. Libraries.
Library, sir.
Yeah.
Library.
Libraries. Okay.
Yes.
By the way, how do you pronounce option A? How would you pronounce that word?
Restaurant.
Yes. Some people say it
Restaurant.
as restaurant. Please. It's restaurant because it's a French word. Okay. Based on the short message above, the following statements are correct except A, Mr. Basugi is much likened by his students. B, the school extracurricular activity has been cancelled. C, Muammar wants Alvi to accompany him to pay homage to Mr. Basugi. Look at the question. When you find words like except, you need to be careful. Based on the short message above, the following statements are correct except. So the following statements are correct except. Alvi, I think I can't join the school extracurricular activity today. My teacher, Mr. Basugi, passed away at Sehat Hospital this morning. He was my favorite teacher, you know. I will miss him so much. May God always bless him and he can rest in peace. By the way, that's BTW. Can you accompany me to go to his house to express my condolence? All my classmates have been there now. Sender, Muammar, 8:15 a.m. So what do you think is the correct answer?
C.
Yes. No. C is correct. So the answer is
B.
B. Because that's why, remember, you would have gotten the answer C because you are you're not sensitive to this word, to this phrase, or to this word, except. The answer is B. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
look at
C,
this
sir.
one. 8 tips for sharing. Wait, let me read the questions first. Okay, which of the following is not one of the tips above? Not one of the tips above. Make a personal image. Tag others if necessary. Use hashtags
Make a
lavishly.
personal
Now read the 8 tips. Radu. 8 tips for sharing your blog post on Twitter. Break down your blog post. Build interest. Create a custom image. Try emojis and white space. Use hashtags sparingly. Tag others wisely. Replicate what works. Be part of your community. So which of the following is not one of the tips? Make a personal image.
A, sir.
Yes, sir. Make a personal image.
Others
B,
if
sir.
necessary.
C, sir.
C.
C,
C.
sir.
B, sir.
C, sir.
Wait, okay. I mean, all the options are just throwing all the options. Now let's go one by one. Make a personal image. Does it say that? Is it one of the tips?
Yes, because
Create a
Yes.
custom
the
image.
number 3.
Yes. So it is one of the tips. Very good. Now, tag others if necessary.
No.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Tag
Yes,
others
sir.
wisely. So wisely is when it's necessary. Use hashtags lavishly.
No.
What is lavishly? You splurge it, just splend it to the glory of your heart. So that's lavishly using, splurging it. So the answer is definitely C, because
C.
it says use hashtags sparingly. Okay, now this one, look at the picture very carefully. From the poster above, we know that pistols are dangerous. Every 25 seconds, one person dies. We must be careful when we handle a vehicle on roads. Takes one life
sir.
every 25 seconds. Drive safe. So what do you think is the answer?
A.
C.
Hello, it's not even a pistol, people. Is it a pistol? It's a car key.
No, sir. C.
So the answer is C.
C.
Yeah.
Drive
You
careful.
see, it takes life every 25 seconds. It doesn't mean that every 25 seconds, one person dies. I think more than one person dies at every 25 seconds. But the particular thing, which means accidents or car, vehicle, anything that involves accident, that takes life like that. Okay, now this one. From the notice above, the authority will not be responsible for which of the following? Security of the place, any theft that could happen, any personal properties. Notice, we are not responsible for any personal belongings left behind. Thank you. ABC. All may look correct, but what would the authority be not responsible for?
C.
C, very good. C is the right answer. I think this is the last question. Oh no, we have 2 more questions. Okay. Now, according to him, what is not home? I'm going home, she said. Where's home to you? He asked. My house, she said, confused, and laughed a little. Home isn't a place. He paused. It's a color, a song, a scent, a feeling, a person, but it's not a place. According to him, what is not home? A house, an emotion, an individual.
B. An emotion.
B.
Emotion.
Not B, definitely not. What is the answer?
C.
Isn't emotion is feelings, right?
An individual.
So the answer is A. A person is an individual.
A, sir.
So
A.
C,
Home
sir.
isn't a place. A house is a place. Okay?
C,
So the
sir.
answer is A. What is not home? A. It may sound very ironic, but we are referring to what does a boy feel, or what according to him. So what does he say here? Home isn't a place. Now, between the 3 options, what isn't a place? What is a place? A home, a house is a place, right? So that is not home. So according to him, what is not home?
Yes.
A house. Okay, last question. We have discussed more than 20, 25 questions. You are not alone. Sorry for your loss. Everything happens for a reason. The post above sounds apologetic, sympathetic, apathetic?
B.
B. Sympathetic. This is very easy, isn't it? Okay. Now, let's see. We are done with the practice. I hope the practice was useful. Now, vocabulary. I've decided to do this every day. So every day now this is the second day of the class. We'll have 12 lessons as I promised. So we have 10 more lessons to go. Every day I'll give you 5 new words. So all these five words are verbs. That means actions. Okay. The first one is to abhor. That is to hate. Okay. I abhor Justin Bieber, and I might offend some of you. Okay. Abide, which is to accept and obey. Accost, to approach or to speak to. I accosted Varunesh to seek the feedback of the lessons that I taught online. Adjure, to command or to urge. Okay. Admonish, to reprimand or to reprove, which means to correct lah. Okay. So you may screenshot these words and then later write somewhere and try to use these words in your essays. I'll try to give 5 words every day lah. Okay. We'll go by the alphabet. Okay. Now, thank you very much. Do you have any questions? Don't leave the class yet. Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir.
No.
Okay. If you have any questions now, bring it on.